be a gift for Greta, as she's both beautiful and unique. Okay, yeah. Yeah. There we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. We'll stand with her though. She's going to talk. Gotta have a hug.
Yes.
Just thank you for everything you do. We're just
Thank you.
so blessed to have you.
No. Thank you all so much for coming here today. It is unbelievable how many you are. Police say about 15,000, and so it is an honor for me to be here with you today. Thank you. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are fortunate to be able to gather on the unceded territory of the Coast Swedish people, particularly the unceded traditional territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations.
William, can you get the drummers to stand over this way? The drummers.
And we, of course, today stand in solidarity with the young plaintiffs, with the brave young plaintiffs who are suing the Canadian government today. And it is always so hopeful to see this every Friday. This is a movement with millions upon millions of people telling world leaders to act on the science and demanding a safe future for us and for everyone. And together we will make a change. And I'm honored to stand next to Seven Collis Suzuki, who addressed world leaders during the first COP in Rio de Janeiro, 1992. "27 years ago, at the age of 12, she said, quote, 'At school, even in kindergarten, you teach us how to behave in the world. You teach us not to fight with others, to work things out, to respect others, to clean up our mess, not to hurt other creatures, to share, to not be greedy. Then why do you go out and do the things you tell us not to do?' Also, I am fighting for my future. Losing my future is not like losing an election or a few points on the stock market. Seven told the world everything the world needed to know 27 years ago. And the science told our world leaders everything they needed to know 27 years ago. If people would have listened back then, the world would be a completely different place than it is today. But the world ignored her, and world leaders continue to choose to look away from this crisis even today. According to the Global Carbon Atlas, global CO2 emissions have increased by approximately 65% from 1992 to 2018. Around 50% of all CO2 emitted since 1751 have been emitted since 1992. If world leaders would have started to take action back then when this crisis became known to them, then imagine the sufferings that could have been prevented. It is shameful that for so long the ongoing climate and ecological emergency has been ignored. It is the year 2019 and the people in power are still acting as if there was no tomorrow. And we young people are telling them to stop doing that, to stop ignoring the consequences of their actions and inactions, to stop leaving their mess for someone else to clean up, because we do not want to do it for them. The people in power need to start to realize what they are doing to future generations, to us, and especially to people in parts of the world who are already being affected and suffering from the climate and ecological crisis. If the adults really loved us, they would at least do everything they possibly could to make sure that we had a safe future, a future to look forward to. But they are not doing that. As it is now, it feels like they are doing the exact opposite. That they are desperately trying to change the subject every time the climate crisis comes up. That they are trying so hard to delay the actions required from preventing this crisis from getting worse. Because they are so afraid of being unpopular and to make uncomfortable decisions. It is like they are selling our future for their comfort and profit. And yet they have the nerve to look us in the eyes and tell us that they are doing enough. Well, whatever they are doing it wrong. We are starting to see through their lies, and we will hold them accountable for their actions. We will be a constant reminder that they are failing. And that constant reminder is what we are today. And every Friday, every single day that goes by without sufficient action being taken, and when the science is being ignored. Because we are not just some kids skipping school or some adults who are not going to work. We are a wave of change, and together we are unstoppable. We will rise to the challenge, hold those responsible for this crisis accountable, and we will make world leaders act. We can and we will. And if you feel threatened by that, then I have some very bad news for you. This is just the beginning. We will continue. Because change is coming, whether you like it or not. Thank you. Thank you. And I think people would be very happy if you 7 would say a few words, if you want to.